back to my channel. Sorry I look like a ghost right now. I think it's just the lighting. Also, I'm recording on a new camera. I'm back, as you can see, in the Deutsch of the land. I'm back in Germany. It took me a while to get here, but I made it. I got here a week ago, exactly today. So 1 week ago, I flew into Frankfurt, got the train back to Konstanz, and I've been quarantining here ever since. Right, I'm gonna sit down. So, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is basically gonna be a very chill couple of days in my life in quarantine, as I've currently been spending it, which is I've done nothing. I've just been feeling very, very shut in. More so than I've really felt this whole pandemic. Maybe it's just the thought that I legally cannot step outside my house or my apartment as it is now. I definitely would not recommend. Don't travel if you don't have to. The reason I travelled back here, I obviously flew back to England to my family home for Christmas, and then I flew back here a week ago because I have exams. And one of them is still taking place in person, so I did have to be back for that. Side note, I am filming on a new camera at the moment and I've not touched the settings. Vlogception. Vlogception. I'm so happy to not have to film on my phone anymore. Look at this setup. I'm filming on the front camera because otherwise I won't have a viewfinder. And look, wait, look at this. It's a viewfinder. I'm unreasonably excited about this. I don't know how long I'm staying in Germany this time because technically my semester is actually ending this week. I just literally had my last Chinese class this morning. I just finished my last proper Chinese class and I feel great about it. Also kind of sad because I did really like the class. I always had a very love-hate relationship with this class because it was really intense. It was 3 hours every week of just intense Chinese on top of German, which is already a foreign language to me. But it always made me feel really good afterwards when I'd made it through those 3 hours. And also I just love learning Chinese, it's such a cool language. And so I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm feeling accomplished because I made it through the course. 9点1课上床 and I managed to contribute today, so I'm happy. But I also can't believe it's all over because it was such a part of my first semester here. It was my only live class and I think I'm gonna miss it, but I need to take a break. I need some food. I'll be with you later. And after that, technically I don't have any more university related stuff until April, which means there's a semester break between the first semester and the second semester. I'm basically almost halfway through my year abroad already, which is crazy, and we're not going to talk about that, but I don't know what I'll do for the rest of the day. I need to get some studying done. I need to eat food eventually. I need to stop solving all my problems by eating Haribos, but when in Germany you can get sour Haribos, so don't mind me for just taking advantage of what I have. The snow is heavily melting outside and it's really, really rude because I woke up this morning to so much snow and I got so excited, and now it's 3 p.m. and worse is that it's actually snowing a lot in the UK at the moment. Okay, so it snows in Konstanz, right? The whole of January when I'm not here. I return to Konstanz in February. The day I return, it snows in England. What is it with me and inadvertently avoiding snow? I love snow. Apparently it doesn't love me back. This is just unreasonable. It looks like it's raining, but it's just the snow melting off the branches. It's sunny and it's so wet. And it's just the sad remains of the snow that once was melting away. This is not helping my mood. Currently it is 4:30. I'm probably going to study a little bit because I need to get some syntax work done. This could be a very, very boring vlog, and I'm sorry if it is, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. I know who I'm apologising to, but okay, so it's currently a lot later. I didn't end up doing anything really. I just kind of felt not very good, and so I watched YouTube for a little bit and just kind of cozied up, hugged my star pillow for comfort. I think it's important to recognise when you're just not feeling up to something and to take breaks when you need. I basically just made myself dinner and just watched an episode of Hannah Montana because it used to be my favourite show and it felt quite comforting. And then I also did watch a little bit of Skillshare just in my bed just because I didn't really know what else to do, because I didn't feel like doing nothing, but I was also really tired. A better day. I've decided, we're manifesting it, we're going to have a good day, I think. It's snowing outside currently. Look. There's like tiny snowflakes. I don't know if it's actually going to stay this time, but it's supposed to be really cold for the next couple of days. It's supposed to get down to like -8, so hopefully some of it stays. Today I spent the morning mainly just taking some time to myself. I got up at about 8 and did some exercise and just kind of sat down and worked on some online journaling stuff. I like to just kind of journal every now and again, just kind of write down my thoughts. It helps really just ground me. And I realised I hadn't taken the time to do that lately, so I took some deliberate time this morning to just sit down and write out my thoughts. Currently it's just after noon, it's about 12:30, and I'm planning to just sit down and do some university work, I think, because I do have exams coming up, even though it doesn't feel like it, and so I'll just sit down and work on some syntax, I think, is probably the first port of call, and then we'll see where the day goes from there.
Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
I then tentatively put my mask on and left my room to go to the mailboxes because I had a delivery to pick up. I assume I'm allowed to leave my room for those purposes because otherwise I did tell the mailman to come directly to the door and not leave my package in the mail room, but apparently he didn't read my delivery instructions, and so if I wanted this package I would have to go get it myself. But it was quite an exciting package, and so it was worth it. I'm back. I have snow in my hair. Okay, so I got an Amazon package, and I think I know what this is. I think this is Norwegian chocolate. I bought myself some Norwegian chocolate because it is the best, and I've not been feeling the best, and so I wanted to treat myself a little bit. If you haven't tried Norwegian chocolate, you're missing out, in my opinion. It's honestly the stuff of legend, like sent down from the gods above, made this chocolate. If you ever go to Norway, do try the chocolate because it is heavenly. Okay, I'm talking this up way too much, but I am excited to eat this. I feel better already. Okay, so I thought we would do something a little bit different and make waffles. waffles because I don't know, I think I was just inspired by eating that Norwegian chocolate, and so we're making another traditional Norwegian culinary masterpiece, which is traditional heart-shaped waffles. Now I know for a fact that the UK does not know how to make waffles because they only know the Belgian version. I'm here to show you the proper, traditional, actually good version of the waffle. We're going to be using this waffle iron. It's the proper version, and I know this because it's heart-shaped, and that is how you know you've got the proper waffle on your hands, okay? I've got my ingredient list and my recipe here on my phone. It's an old Norwegian recipe that I've had since the age of 12, and basically I thought I would just talk to you guys while I make waffles because I just kind of wanted to catch up, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. So for this recipe, we're going to be needing 100 grams of butter. We're going to be needing 4 eggs, 4.5 tablespoons of sugar, half a tablespoon of cardamom, 5 deciliters of just normal flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 5 deciliters of milk. Now, because I'm actually only going to be making half of this recipe because I am one person, not 4, but obviously it's up to you if you want to make the full recipe. You do you, I'm not gonna judge. I love waffles. You might also love waffles, so okay. The thing about this is, at home I would have like a tiny little saucepan to melt my butter in, but because I'm not at home and I'm away at uni, I only have this. And this is a little big for a tiny stick of butter, and I'm not even using all of this, I don't think. This is 125 grams. I need 50 grams. So, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do, you know? So I'm gonna stick this down here. I also, I'm very happy, I'm very lucky to have my own kitchen at university, but it is tiny. I have like no counter space at all. I'll show you what this looks like. This is what we're working with at the moment, but we'll make it work, you know. Also, say hi to the camera. So I hope you guys are going to be okay with staying on the corner there, even when I turn on the hob to heat it up, because otherwise I don't quite know what I'm going to do. So we're going to plop on the pan, get some butter going. Ooh, that's a good stick of butter. Get a knife. Now this has actually got measurements on the side, I believe. Yes, it does. On the side here, it's got like measurements on the bottom, so I don't actually have to weigh anything out, which thank God, because I don't have a scale with me at university, because why would I need that? So I'm just gonna like measure, follow the line, and just kind of like make an incision into the butter and cut from there. Okay, I don't actually know where that cut off, but okay, I think we're back properly now. Please work. Okay, we've got the butter currently melting in this little pot here. It's actually okay where you're standing. Great. So the next thing we're gonna do while the butter is melting is we need to add eggs. There we go. Okay, so we've got our eggs. You can't see that. I'm not gonna. I'll show you on my phone. I've got a dual camera set up now. I can use my phone and my actual camera. So here are the eggs. As you can see, those are eggs. Okay, so while I'm whisking these, I just thought maybe it's not the best idea to talk as I'm whisking. The sound of this is probably lovely. You're welcome. Okay, so that is pretty much whisked. Yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to show you because it's gonna end badly. So we need sugar. The recipe says 4.5 tablespoons. That's not sugar. I am just gonna add 2.25 tablespoons because that's half. So we're gonna try and see if we can actually measure this out properly. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna say that's 2. I feel good actually doing something like this, actually making something with my hands, because it makes me feel productive in a time where I don't really feel like I'm doing anything. And with being in quarantine, obviously I cannot leave my apartment. And so baking, you know, it just really is the therapy that we all need. 5 deciliters of flour, except it's 2.5 deciliters because we're not trying to die over here. Oh god. That's more like it. Before I do anything though, I'm gonna add my baking powder. So I need half a teaspoon, which means I need a quarter of a teaspoon, which could get interesting because that's a pretty small amount. Is that about a quarter? That's more than a quarter, isn't it? It's fine. If I get fluffy waffles, I get fluffy waffles. Okay, and then we're adding half a teaspoon of cardamom. Honestly, it says it's optional in the recipe, but according to me, it is not optional. It is what makes my waffles taste the way that they do. And so, highly recommend using cardamom. Though I'm going to be more careful with the measurements of this because too much cardamom is too much cardamom. We have my flour mixture. I'm just going to mix this up. Next on the agenda, actually before we add the dry stuff, let's add the wet stuff, which I probably should have measured out first. Okay, we need 5 deciliters of milk, which means not 5 deciliters. Do I have anything else to measure with? I've made a great mistake. Hang on. I know what I could do. I'm going to transfer the flour into this bowl. There we go. It's all safe. Then I can use my jug to measure out the milk. See? Ingenuity. Yep. So I'm going to add all of this to the mixture. I like to add my milk before I add my flour just because it's so much easier to stir. I'm just going to transfer this like directly from the bowl. Don't listen to me, by the way. I'm not doing anything right at the moment, but you didn't come here for quality content. You came here for me, which I don't understand why you did, but that's on you, basically. Whisk, whisk, whisk. So how are you guys? I feel like I haven't really talked to you in a hot second. I had a great time being home for Christmas. It was very nice to relax for a little bit, but I'm excited to be back. I'm excited that I made it back because let me tell you, it took me 2 tries, which doesn't sound like a lot to get back, but also my first attempt was my flight just got cancelled just straight up 2 days before I was gonna leave, and then my second flight I decided to just fly directly to Frankfurt from London Heathrow. And a couple of days before that flight, it looked like I might not be able to go again because Germany introduced new entry restrictions from the UK. I was lucky because I already had an address, so I was okay to come back. But just, you know, traveling in these times is always just stressful. And I just wanted to get back here so I didn't have to worry about it. But now that I'm back here, I'm kind of questioning myself as to whether or not I should have come back, just because, I don't know, again, because like the whole thing of you don't really want to travel more than is necessary. And I know a lot of my friends have been really unlucky with making it back to their placements and stuff and haven't really been able to go back on their year abroad. I don't know, I guess I just kind of feel a bit bad almost that I've made it back and kind of questioning myself of whether I should have just stayed home, because that's obviously the thing that you want to do in these times. But I also feel like when I have the opportunity to come back and complete my year abroad, like I shouldn't stop myself in that sense just because other people haven't been able to. And I feel like it's almost a bit disrespectful of me not to take this opportunity just because other people would have loved to be able to do things that I'm able to do. And so I just feel like, I don't know, but definitely with the quarantine here, the only thing that I really miss is just being able to go outside for walks. Like, I'm not a person to really go outside much anyway. I'm very much an introverted person. Like, I don't really mind being inside, but it has been a bit tricky for me. I think just the feeling that I legally cannot step outside the apartment has been kind of playing on my mind a lot, I feel, but I am almost through. I'm getting out of quarantine in 2 whole days, so I feel I'm happy that I've been able to make it this far, and hopefully once I do get out of quarantine, I can sort of make the most of this time that I have still in Germany. I don't know. I think it's the same for most people in that they're like, expectations of their year abroad and stuff like that has just kind of gone out the window at this point. And in my head, we're basically just going to make it to like May when it gets warmer outside and vaccines are hopefully more of a thing, and so things can actually start opening up again. Because, I don't know, it just feels like a very long way away at the moment, and part of me would have just rather have stayed at home because it's easy and it's safe, and we're getting to a year of restrictions and staying inside, and I think a lot of people are getting sick of it. And while I definitely think that we should still obviously stay safe, keep social distancing, masks, wash your hands, all that sort of stuff, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this mess. But one thing that I'm going to try and do is to visualize the things that I'm going to be able to do once restrictions do start to lift, to just kind of get me through this like time period. Realize that these days aren't really, they're not the be all and end all of my year abroad, and it's a transitional period that we all have to get through, and there will be brighter times ahead. Hopefully in the future this will be a distant memory. Just kind of keeping that in mind is also quite helpful, I think. Okay, so I'm actually finished. We've got our batter all done. What it needs to do now is basically just like rise for about 15 minutes, and then we can start cooking these babies. My raspberry jam was opened and it is now mouldy, and I'm not going to touch that, which means that I have to rethink my strategy for consuming these waffles. I can just eat them with butter and sugar, which is like the traditional way of eating, well, my traditional way of eating them. That's how I always ate them when I was younger. But I was really looking forward to just having them with raspberry jam. Can you tell I'm annoyed? Waffles are really good. The toppings aren't ideal, but they are reminding me a lot of my childhood, so that's a win. I'm sorry in general that I haven't been doing all that much for this vlog. It's pretty much been a very boring, very almost monotonous vlog, I feel, but that is just the way that my life has been recently, and I don't really see the point of trying to hide that or doing extra stuff just for the sake of a vlog. So once I'm out of quarantine, my living situation isn't really going to change because everything's still shut down. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. I'm excited for things to become a little bit more normal. I don't think we're ever going to go back to the way that things were in that sense, but I do think eventually if people keep following guidelines and following restrictions, and if guidelines keep being actually useful, we could potentially see better days coming soon, hopefully. I'm personally excited just to travel again. I really want to just explore for myself. That's something I've been really missing this year. And yeah, that's the main thing I think that I'm excited about. I hope you guys are all staying safe and staying positive, because it is a really difficult time. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to when the sun rises and things start getting better again. Let me know what you guys think of the situation currently. I mean, I think at this point, if you just feel like burying your head just under your pillow and staying there until May, I'm absolutely with you. But I think keeping a routine, doing what makes you happy at this point, is like taking time for yourself, guilt-free to just kind of survive. It's all that we can expect of ourselves. And if you're someone who's on their year abroad, just like me, or if you haven't been able to go on your year abroad, I'm sorry, I really do feel for you. Being away on my year abroad is not what it would have been, and so you're not missing out on all that much if you haven't been able to go. But I do obviously understand that it is really difficult when you've just had your year abroad just like ripped away from you. But even being here, like, I'm not entirely sure how long I'm going to stay here, just because I feel so like, I know it all just feels so pointless. Like, I've just moved from one lockdown to another, and there's really not a lot of like stuff to do here that makes it different to home. And the amount that I've missed my family recently is like, it just feels like it would have been easier to just stay home. Like, I would have had the same experience, but we'll see. We'll try and make the most out of what we have. None of us would have wanted this year, I don't think, but that's the way it is. Snow update. It's been snowing all day, and it hasn't really stuck because it's been like 1 or 2 degrees, and so it's melted pretty much as it's fallen. But currently I think we're down to -1, and it's looking very frosty outside, which is a good sign because it means that the snow might actually stick if it keeps snowing. So don't mind me just being a shameless snow addict. I do love the snow, and I am very salty that I've missed out on the majority of the snow here this year. But hopefully next year I'll be able to mitigate that. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll come back here for December next year just to like re-experience all the things that I missed out on this year. Who knows?